am on my hero's journey of watching all the Fast and Furious movies and making a video on each one. About a month ago, I watched every Mission Impossible movie and had such a great time that I wanted to make this my next adventure. Starting with the first Fast and Furious, this movie was such a relaxing time. I kid you not, I was sitting there like, yo, everybody is really just vibing in this movie. Paul Walker pulled up to the shop like, yo, let me get some of that tuna, but he wasn't talking about no sandwich. He wanted Vin Diesel's sister. So the overarching plot of this movie is that Paul Walker is an undercover cop on a mission to catch Vin Diesel and bring his crew into custody. I feel like Vin Diesel knew he was a cop, but because Paul Walker was so chill and attractive, hey yo! Nah, no hey yo, he's a good looking dude. Anyway, because bro looked like a Greek god and his homies looked like the Furies, he was like, okay, I'll trust him. And they started chilling after that. Well, it wasn't really after that moment, it was when Paul Walker had to save him from some cops because the rest of the crew left bro hanging. They were in Vin Diesel's crib drinking his beer while bro was outside running for his life. The movie started with the heist of a truck that had some DVDs and video recording and all the technology they had back in the early 2000s. In the first heist, I was like, bro, you're not gonna do anything? Come on, truck driver. The crew took the man truck so easily. Thank God that was fixed in the end, because the one at the end had me on the edge of my seat. I was so stressed for everybody. They had bro hanging like a little Fruit Loop. Anyway, after that heist was successful, the tuna thing happened at the shop. Vin Diesel's bro got mad at Paul Walker for liking the food in the establishment. We then cut to the first race, and yo, I just want to say the cars in this movie was so fire. I'm not really a car person, but that green on Paul Walker's car was so beautiful. They did not need to blow it up. Anyway, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker race. Lovely scene. Vin wins. Paul was like, bro, I almost won, and Vin was like, almost. There's no such thing as almost, little bro. Either you got it or you don't. Paul respected him after that. This is why I like this movie. There's a level of respect here and class. From here on, a series of events happen. Watch the movie and you'll find out. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker end up at a restaurant, and Vin Diesel told Paul Walker, keep it cool, bro. That is your meal ticket. And I love that line because if Paul wasn't so chill, they would not have messed with him. They would have knew he was a cop instantly. Being a calm person gets you really far in life. I can attest to that. But as you watch the movie more and more, you can see the stress come on to Paul Walker's face. He gets more loud and just bashful overall. Anyway, the last heist in this movie was stressful. Bro was lethal with that shotgun. I had no idea how they was gonna get out of that one. Then Captain America pulled up, driving 40 miles and saved Vin Diesel's crew. And that is where he revealed to Vin that he is a cop. I love that scene because you can tell Vin wanted to just rip his head off at that moment. But he held back. That was some good acting. I'll give it to him. Anyway, we get back to the crib. A Boys in the Hood moment happens. Vin and Paul had their final race and the movie ended. The last 30 minutes of this movie was just fire overall. If you were to ask me, I believe the message of this movie is to be careful with who you move with. I mean, they could be an op, but no, that's not the overarching message. The real message of this movie was cool cars, cool looking people. It just had that early 2000 Y2K swag that people are trying to imitate nowadays, but they don't have that essence, you know? It was also a very chill movie. They didn't do too much, which was the best part. It was like, this is what it is and this is what it's gonna be. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Until we get to part 2, Too Fast, Too Furious, I'll see you later, my enigmas. Stay different, all right? Peace.